David and Michelle's pairing has been one of the worst combinations on Married at First Sight Season 18. Here's why David deserves a better partner. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. When Married at First Sight Season 18, experts paired David Trimble with Michelle Tomblin. It seemed like a perfect match, but this has turned out to be one of the most disastrous pairings in MFS history thanks to Michelle's mean attitude towards him. At one point, the show was considered one of the most successful dating experiments due to its high success rates. However, the last couple of seasons have been terrible. Married at First Sight Season 18 started on a high note, promising to have matches that would last a lifetime. Among the MAFS Season 18 cast members were David and Michelle, who appeared compatible. However, it became evident that the two were different as the season progressed. Michelle, 38, is an independent woman who wanted someone as motivated as she was. David was the opposite, a 36-year-old living in his parents' basement, which made Michelle lose interest in him. Since then, Michelle has become one of the most controversial cast members this season, mainly because she's made zero effort to know David and still holds onto her preconceived thoughts about him. A lot is working against this couple, and the season isn't even halfway through. Despite Michelle and David looking quite compatible, some glaring signs early on showed their marriage was bound to fail. One of the biggest issues was David was a smoker, which was a turn-off for Michelle. However, David still living with his parents was a point of contention for these lovebirds. Not only was Michelle manipulative and overbearing, but she also let her ego get in the way of learning who David is. Michelle said she was independent and needed someone with a similar personality. Therefore, after realizing he was nowhere near her dream guy, Michelle ignored David and made him feel inadequate. For instance, the MAFS star stonewalled David during their honeymoon. She was also taken aback after seeing David's apartment when they returned to Chicago and wasn't impressed by his living space. Truthfully, the apartment was disastrous and unkempt, throwing Michelle off. Still, she could have handled that situation better without becoming a Debbie Downer. Michelle didn't care even after David made it clear his parents weren't taking care of him, adding that she had high hopes for the marriage but ended up disappointed via MAF's lifetime. Michelle needs to do some soul-searching before trying to be in a long-term commitment again. While David seemed ready to know his future wife, he appeared uninterested. David once asked Michelle about her dating life. Instead of being straightforward, she gave him vague answers, meaning there was more than what she presented. Michelle has the same vibe as Alyssa Elman, who was disinterested in learning more about her husband, Chris Collette. Rather than communicating she isn't into him, she's become hostile towards David. David seems kind and patient, but Michelle treats him like he's worthless, living at home with nothing to offer. She has also sabotaged the marriage with her passive aggressiveness and has constantly quipped about David's parents doing everything for him. With the one-sided effort, this Married at First Sight duo won't survive. David is Madison Meyer's type. Madison was paired with Alan Slovic, whom she openly said wasn't her type. Like David and Michelle, Madison and Alan's relationship hasn't been smooth sailing, with Madison confessing she doesn't feel a spark between them. She has also been overly critical of Alan's dressing style, saying Alan should have a more conventional look. The MAFS contestant's sister confirmed that Alan wasn't Madison's usual pretty boy type and worried she might not be attracted to him. On the other hand, David ticks most of Madison's boxes. They both love working out. The two met at the gym during the honeymoon vacation, so they would probably have been perfect for each other. Michelle was looking for a suave guy, a vibe she wasn't getting from David, whereas Madison needed someone different from Alan. A MAFS couple's swap matching David and Madison could create an interesting dynamic on the show. David deserves someone who sees him for who he is, allows him to be himself, and, most importantly, is interested in learning more about him. Although David has been accused of acting for the cameras, which could explain why Michelle has been cold towards him, it still doesn't excuse her attitude. The MAFS cast member has been rude, dismissive, and downright mean. Michelle has been overbearing. The MAFS contestant has shown her toxic levels in every aspect of the word, from getting irritated with David's night-eating habits in Mexican Rivera to his living situation and accusing him of having his mother do everything for him. Ironically, Michelle was open to being with someone who lived with her parents at the beginning of Married at First Sight. She uses David's living situation as an excuse for not being attracted to him to not appear to be a villain.